All right, race fans, we are back. Episode number 282. Bert, Changa, happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday.
Oh,
As of, what is it? It's the 30th. Is that Thursday? Is that Thursday?
tomorrow or
Yeah,
Thursday, yes.
yeah, it's Wednesday now. So 7 years. Puka let us know 7 years. Now, Changa's an infant. He's only, Teresa would say he's a child, right? And so he's new
He
to
ain't
us.
very nice, is he?
But Bert and I, 7 years strong. Holy cow! It does not seem like it's been 7 years.
No, I was surprised when he said 7 years.
Yeah,
me too.
yep. But I look back and I'm
But-
like, well,
But I was married at the time, and I've been divorced for 4. So yeah,
she's been a hot minute. She's been a hot minute. So
well. And the thing is, when we started, we didn't have video. We were just doing it by phone.
yeah, and quite honestly, I mean, I have a face for radio, so maybe that would be better, right? We subject everybody to this. I mean, but you are the most eligible bachelor. We still have you there. So, I mean, it just is what it is. We had to do that just for Bert. So, yeah, 7 years old. Happy birthday, guys. Episode 282 brought to you by Impact Health Sharing. So, open enrollment pretty much here. A lot of people looking for health insurance. So, whether you're single, a couple, a family, small business, whatever it is, if you pay for health insurance every single month and you're like, man, am I paying way too much money? Or I can only go to specific doctors, or my deductibles are way too high, I might have an alternative for you. It's called Impact Health Sharing, and it's been absolutely fantastic. All throughout the country. It works in Canada, works in Mexico, it works everywhere. It's been absolutely awesome. Family plans coming in right around $600 a month. And if you got a pretty clean bill of health over the last 36 months, no major medical, no major pre-existings, it's going to be a really good fit for you. Hit me up 218-969-1380, or hit me up on Facebook, however you want. Get a hold of me. I can get you a quick, no obligation quote. See if we can save you some money on your health insurance costs by switching over to Impact Health Sharing. So let's start local, boys. It's officially official, right? Because usually the topless, the last few years, the topless has been the last show of the year in the Northland. Well, this year, Barry Braun decided, well, hold my beer. Everybody says you can't race in October in Minnesota. Bullshit, he said. Well, they had the Iron Range Rumble. Supposed to be a doubleheader. It was going to race Friday, Saturday. Friday's forecast was pretty chilly. They were going to start at 7, and they decided to ixnay the Friday show, made it a one-day show. The races went off, right? It happened. Car counts were light. A lot of local guys were like, shit, I wasn't planning for this. My stuff's already taken apart. So a lot of local drivers were not there, but some travelers came in. And let's face it, you get cooler temperatures in the middle of October. The track stays a little bit more moist, right? You don't have quite as much dry slick. And the track was pretty good. I thought the racing was good. Pretty light car counts, really light crowd. But, I asked him how it went, and he says, it didn't go bad financially. A lot of people figured he lost a lot of money. It went okay. Will he do it again next year? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I know, Bert, I think you said you didn't get a chance to watch Hibbing. Changa,
No,
you did
I
not,
didn't.
did you?
I watched some highlights.
Some highlights.
I was actually listening to it because I couldn't watch it, but I was listening to it while I was on the phone with you.
Okay, right.
And I
That's
did get
true.
your play-by-play, and then I did watch some highlights.
So the Chisholm boys, no surprise, right, Bert? The Chisholm boys put on the best show of the weekend. The Chisholm, no, not Joe Chisholm, not Jim Chisholm, Chisholm boys, Chisholm, Minnesota, right? Home of the 71A, Chisholm, Minnesota. So one of the 4 first-time winners up there, Alex Odell and Eric Anderson, put on a show in the Midwest Mods. By far the best race of the night. Easily the best race. Eric Anderson, I can give him some shit, guys. You know why? Because he's my old pit guy. I can do that. I can give him shit. And he sallied up. He go-karting around the bottom, right? Drove a good line, nice and smooth. But Alex Odell channeling his inner Bobby Pierce was absolutely bringing it on the high side. And I'm like, holy shit, is he driving that thing into the corner? And it's stuck. And he went around Eric and drove off into the sunset in the closing lap. So Chisholm, Minnesota drivers 1-2. His first ever win in a Midwest Mod. Congratulations, Alex Odell, on that one. Late models, a kid that's been running really good. Go ahead, Changa.
No, there was, Alex Odell got out to the lead, and then there was kind of a, did Eric jump the restart or not? He might have got away with one there just to get the lead back.
He did. And you know what? We should probably give him some shit because, he wasn't always super nice to Barry early in the year, kind of picking on him, a little rough on Barry. And Barry didn't call him for jumping. I think maybe, I don't know, you guys can make the call if you jump on XR Plus and watch the replay. He may have snuck by him on a restart, Bert, and maybe started a little bit early, but you know what they say, right? Just like in the Packers game there, right? If they didn't catch that defensive lineman jumping across the line, it ain't offside. It ain't offside. If they didn't catch Eric Anderson jumping the start, he didn't do it. He didn't do it, right? So,
I had one more thought from that race too. I saw so first race ever, Kyle Cedar in his dad's B mod in Ross's car. First race ever, I believe he got 6th place in his first race. So that's a pretty good job.
that is pretty cool. Father son, and of course Rocket Ross, he ran the A mod this past weekend.
He did with the B mod. They let him run the B mod with the A mods. So.
Oh, that's what he did. Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
No, maybe I'm wrong on Kyle, but Ross got 6 with the B mod in the A mods.
Okay.
So maybe I'm wrong on what place Kyle got, but I know he finished, and I think he was the last car on that finish, but he finished anyhow and got to race his first ever race. Young kid, he played hockey with my boys. So
nice. Bert, who won the late models?
Gunnar Frank. So, I'm gonna say he's from Eastern Wisconsin, even though technically he's probably listed as living in Iowa, and Uper's all up on these cities. No, that's not, but I'm gonna say he's from Eastern Wisconsin. So that's what, 2 weeks in a row, a Eastern Wisconsin driver has won a late model feature out in Minnesota.
Absolutely, back-to-back weeks, and they finished strong, right? Joel Bennett finished the season strong.
Well,
Gunnar Frank was really, really good at the end of the year. He finished really strong, and I talked to him. I picked him in our pick'ems, and I said, "You gonna win?" He says, "I'm sure as hell gonna try." I'm like, "Get that shit done," and he did. Gunnar, thank you for the 2 points here for the 71A. Hat tip to you, buddy. Bert,
and
love, right? You're not picking your Eastern Wisconsin guys. That's a donkey award to you, right there. That's what that is.
I had forgotten that he was going to be racing there. But when I made my picks, basically, Joe Bennett and the Franks, they travel together and stuff, so they're basically teammates, and so it's good to see those guys win up in Minnesota, over in Minnesota, and
Over
up in Minnesota.
Yeah, I guess up. Yeah, it's up from you for sure.
In that race, good run by Jeff Provenzino, gets a solid 3rd place finish from last. Did you guys see what happened with him on that race?
A little bit of controversy, right? My phone blew up, and everybody wants me to just bury the place. Horse shit calls. And it was terrible. It was a terrible call. You're going to get that every single racetrack, every single event. You're going to have at least one bad call. It just is what it is. And he was not happy. And hey, I'm going to give a hat tip right here. Derek Vessel, right? Emmy Award, Oscar, whatever it is, right? He pulled the Hibbing flop. Did Bravo squeeze him a little bit? Yeah, maybe, right? Because Derek got a run and Bravo kind of moved up, and I don't think there was any contact. And Bert, he kind of got off the back straightaway. Derek did, and got down to turn 3 and just stopped the car. Didn't spin out, didn't get shoved off the end of the track, just got up over the bank, stopped the car, 28 to the back. I'm like, oh, is he going to be pissed? Oh, is he going to be mad? And he was hot, but he wasn't a baby about it. He went back out there. He didn't pull off. He raced the race, and he drove back up to a podium finish. So, hey, kudos to that, right? Because very easy end of the year. You're not racing for points. It's very easy to be like, screw it. I'm going to pull off because I got a bad call. He did not. He stayed on the racetrack, got a third place finish. So overall, pretty good race. Modifieds, another guy, first time winner up in Hibbing. So that was Gunnar Frank's first win in Hibbing. Another first time winner in Hibbing, Justin Fremming. Good to see him back behind the wheel, right? Because he pitted for Dan Ebert all summer on the Lucas Oil Tour. So he didn't race. He didn't race this year. And remember, I mean,
I think he said that was his 4th show of the year or something.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was really surprised to see him even up there. But I suppose that when you haven't raced all year, right? It's like, there ain't nothing, I might as well go. I haven't raced all year, and it paid off, right? He came up to Hibbing. So first of all, thanks for coming up to Hibbing, and congratulations. Good to see him in victory lane. I haven't quite heard. I heard a couple different rumors. I haven't confirmed this with him, but the rumors I've heard is he's not going to be pitting for the 60 next year. He wants to get back behind the wheel again, which would be absolutely awesome for all of us race fans because he's an asset. Every time he unloads a car at a racetrack, he's a threat to win. Going to be super fun to watch. Justin Fremming, hell of a run. Another one that had some drama, a little bit of drama. Super stocks, guys. Boy, oh boy. First of all, first time winner ever. First career win in a super stocks. Jason Hovel making the trip up from down in the Rice Lake area, right? And but Jordan Hinkemeyer made the trip up and he led the lion's share of the race. Kind of looked like he was going to drive off into the sunset. And I think he maybe had it in conserve mode, Changa. In my mind, I'm thinking he should have just drove away, right? He should have just drove away. Now, I don't know if he just I got the lead. I'm just going to be conservative. I'm not going to overdrive. It cost him. It cost him because lo and behold, he gets turned around, right? The call goes on him. Now, I'll be honest, the internet went bonkers. They went crazy. They're like, horseshit call. He got screwed. He got spun out. There's a beam, Bert, in the grandstands there. They got the beams because they got a roof over the grandstands in Hibbing. The camera view literally showed the beam getting into turn one. So it did not show. It's like I wanted to watch. I watched it 10 times at least. And I'm like, it didn't show. So it eventually showed Hovel spinning him around in a circle, but it didn't show how he initially got sideways. Now, I can just guess, but I mean that ain't fair. I can't. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I can't guess. It was crazy though because the internet's going crazy. Half of them are like he was sideways and hit the brakes, and that's why he got run over. Half of them are saying bullshit. The guy drove right through him and spun him out. I don't know. He finished them for sure, but it's one of those deals where I honestly can't say one way or the other because that beam was in the way, and I don't know. But I will say this. If Jordan Hinkemeyer was in conserve mode, right, and he didn't just decide to go balls to the walls and drive away, then it's his own fault. Regardless if he did it himself or got spun out, because the guy was right on his bumper. No disrespect to Jason Hovel, right? But Jordan Hinkemeyer, one of the top super stock drivers in Wissota, in my mind, and maybe Hovel just had a really good car that night, right? But in my mind, Hinkemeyer should have drove away from him. He should have been further ahead. And whether he got spun out and he gets spun out, I don't know because the camera view didn't really show it. Because that beam was there, but he should have been further ahead, in my opinion.
I watched it 10 times just like you did, and here's my opinion, okay? I mean, my opinion ain't worth a shit, right? But I don't really give a shit if he got a little bit sideways getting into the corner and grabbed the brake. This ain't a no-fault caution place. They make calls here. The fact of the matter is he doesn't wind up spun out in the freaking middle of the racetrack if someone doesn't turn him around. He wasn't going to lose control of the car. He wasn't going to spin out. He wasn't going to go off the track. Don't care if he was a little sideways and grabbed the brake. He wasn't spinning out. So in my mind, it's the wrong call.
Yeah, and it probably is. But again, I didn't see what exactly caused it, what started it. Maybe he was sideways and
And I mean,
dynamited the brake.
and
I
maybe,
don't
like
know.
you said, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't see it right because of the, like I said, that pole was right in the way on the video. But that's what I saw.
Jordo don't usually spin out leading on a tacky track. It don't. So the odds are he probably got a bad call, right? Because I mean, the track had grip. He's leading. Probably didn't spin out. And even if he was going to get a little sideways, you're right. Jordan Hinkemeyer going to save it. He ain't going to. I mean, even if he did get sideways, and I don't know that he did, but I will say this: that the beam made it so I couldn't get a clear vision of exactly how that deal all started, and he should have been further ahead. Drive away, right? Drive away. Ron Jones always said back in the day, he says, the goal is to pass the next guy ahead of you. And I'm like, well, what if you're leading? Well, lap the next car. Balls to the walls, unless you got somebody giving, and if somebody was giving them stick signals, they were like that because the guy was right on his rear bumper. So then you should be going harder anyway. So I don't know, go faster, right? So unfortunate deal. Gonna be he texted me, he goes, I ain't going back up there. I'm like, bullshit, you aren't. July 10th the next year, you will be in Hibbing. He's like, why? I'm like, Tardy Memorial, 67-67 to win. Yeah, I'll be there. That's what I thought. All right. If Bert, if that's why I had to quit racing. All the places I said I ain't never going back to, I'm never fucking racing there again, right?
You were right. You didn't lie.
I was right. I eventually ran out of tracks, right? Because I said that everywhere. Usually I went back the next week, but I get it. He probably got the wrong call, and when you're leading and feel like you get taken out, and maybe he did, I would have been super pissed off too. So, pure stock feature, a kid that's won a pile of races this year, Austin Carlson, light field of cars, only had 4 show up. I was surprised, figured it would be under 10 because they don't have them weekly, but good to see Austin Carlson continue his really good season that he had here in 2025. And then the Gravedigger, Zeb Graves getting it done. Not Brady Faso, not McKenna Folstead. No, Zeb Graves. I think that was his second of the year. So congratulations on getting that one done. So I did talk to Barry. I talked to him for a couple hours yesterday while I was driving down the highway. And I said, 2025, how'd it go? I said, and he's like, well, I'm sure you can read the internet, right? Because I may have gotten a little bit of heat over the last couple weeks. It's been a little rough. And I'm like, trying to stay away from that. And he's like, hey, we tried to go big on some of that stuff. It bit us. We got to catch up, and eventually we will. And he owned it. He's like, hey, I mean, we probably bit off more than we could chew. It is what it is, right? But as far as the Hibbing Speedway goes, he's like, learned a lot. First year promoting a track, promoted series, promoted events, did some great stuff, did some stuff that sucked, and made some money, lost some money, made some good decisions, some bad decisions. But ultimately, he's excited for 2026 because he said this year, man, there's a lot of little things that I felt like he's like, I went in thinking, man, I've been around racing forever. I know everything about everything. This is going to be a piece of cake. And he's like, I got an education. I learned a lot. We tried some things went good, some things didn't. And but he's excited for the 2026 season. He does have some pretty cool plans. I know they're pulling the wall out this week. One of the biggest complaints up there, guys, in Hibbing was track's flat, took all the freaking banking out of the track, right? You know what they're doing this week? Taking the wall out of the front straightaway, putting more banking in the corners, right? And he goes, I realized it needed more bank, but I can't do that in the middle of the season. Like, we already added clay right before the season. First couple weeks were rough as hell, got the rain, track wasn't very good. If he would have tried doing that in August, holy crap, that would have been a bad deal, right? You can't do that. So season's done now, no more racing, wall's coming out, putting more banking in. That's going to be good. Sounds like, them shipping containers they have around Thunder Bay. Sounds like, so they removed the grandstands in turn 4. And I initially thought they were going to put shipping containers over in turn 1 in the dog pound area. Sounds like they're going to actually put some shipping containers over in turn 4. That's kind of looking like that might be the plan over there to kind of fill in the void where the grandstands used to be. So they got a lot of things they're working on there, and it don't matter who you are, guys. If you're a track promoter, you're pissing people off. Regardless, you can do everything right, and somebody's always going to be mad. So, I mean, it's a tough job, but there's not a lot of people stepping up saying, hey, I want to be a racetrack promoter. There's not a long list of those people. That's just not a thing, right? So, kind of got to chalk 2025 up. They had some good nights. They had some nights that were like, not real good, but let's see how 2026 goes, and I'm gonna wish them the best because that's my home track. I want to see the place go well. Yeah. Other than that, that's kind of it up in Hibbing. Some pretty exciting stuff. Bert, they actually I saw what was it Mike's video? I don't know the guy's last name, but he kind of put a post out. Speaking of track work, he kind of put a long little paragraph or article or whatever about Shawano. What's going on over there?
Well, Mike from Mike's video, he does some of the social media stuff for the racetrack. So they were looking for input from fans and drivers as to whether the fans and drivers would like to see Shawano Speedway shortened to a 3/8 mile. They had an aerial view of the track and then where it would be, how they would reconfigure it, and so he posted another post tonight. In 24 hours, they got over 600 comments from people. And apparently they're going to print out all the comments and present them to the county board, because before they can do it, the county owns the land. So, the race board can't do anything unless the county approves shortening the track. So they're gonna apparently present all the comments to the county board, and now I guess they're starting a campaign where people can record like a 30-minute video of including your name, whether you're a driver or a fan, and why you want to see the track shortened, and then present those also. So, this
30
is the most.
minute video? That's a long video.
Oh, I mean seconds. They're
Oh,
30 seconds. No, not
I'm like,
minutes. Not
wow, they're
minutes.
gonna be
No,
busy.
no, 30-second videos. So this is the most traction that I've seen the idea get. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But like I said, this is the most. In the past, whenever it was brought up, it was usually shot down right away. So, no, it's not being shot down by the race board, so to speak. So, I guess we'll wait. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, let's be honest, right? When you get done with the 2025 season and you look back and you're like, we had nights with 1 late model, 2 late models, 4 late models, right? And the rest of the car counts weren't all that great
Oh,
either.
right.
They
Well,
had to have been looking at it going, something has to change.
well, I mean, when I talk to people about car counts at Shawano Speedway, I mean, everybody says late models. Well, you only have, 4 or 5s, sometimes. To me, late model car count's not the concern. I mean, it is a concern, but it's not the main concern. Because of this, basically in eastern Wisconsin, you have 30 late models in eastern Wisconsin. But when you're getting 15 to 20 modifieds, 15 to 20 stock cars, 15 to 20 sport mods, when there's 200 of those in eastern Wisconsin in each division, maybe not quite that. Well, I mean, a lot more than late models. That's the problem. That's where you're going to get the car count, is in those divisions.
Right, right. So yeah, good luck to him over there. I know Troy Springborn working very hard on that campaign. He's kind of
Yes.
spearheading that from the driver's side, and it'll be interesting to see. So we'll keep an eye on that, Changa.
Well, since we're kind of on that topic, I don't know if you saw this, but I did see this tonight. The Gondik Law Speedway, Joe and his group did get the racetrack back over there. So full speed ahead on next year's schedule and kind of stay in the status quo.
Yeah, I did have that in my notes for later, but yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic of local tracks, I mean, you're spot on. I mean, that was kind of a big deal. There was some grumblings that maybe there was a little conspiracy to try to get them shoved out of there and another group put in, but ultimately only two groups submitted bids and they stayed status quo. They kept the fair part of it and the racetrack part separate as it's been, as it should be, and super excited for that because I feel like Joe and their group, Joel Crash, Gus, Fleisch, all them guys, they've done a great job over there. I mean, it's become the premier track up in the Northland. They have the best events, probably the best car count, probably the best fan count. So, I mean, rightfully so, they're back running the racetrack as it should be. So, super excited for that. Congratulations to that group, and good luck to a great 2026 season. Let's give a shout out here. Fast. Speaking of that, the people that actually the parts vendor at the Gondik Law Speedway, Fast Lane Motorsports and Powder Coating over in Ashland, Wisconsin, home of the Galloper chassis. They are the #1 sponsor of the premier series in Wissota, the Northland Superstock series, and they do it all. They build cars, they do custom fabricating, powder coating, sandblasting. I mean, they can do about anything that you need. If you need something built, it doesn't even have to be racing related. They can do it. If you need race parts, tires, safety equipment, they're for all things racing. Get a hold of Chris and the gang in Ashland at Fastlane Motorsports and Powder Coating. So let's just jump into some of the top stories of the week here. So down in the desert, right? My dad didn't go. He was gonna go. He decided not to go. But they had the Western World Championships down in Casa Grande, Arizona, Central Arizona Speedway. Did either one of you get to watch anything from down there? It was good. They had good racing.
I didn't watch any of it. I just followed the results.
Yeah, so first things first, it was the final two races of the year for the USAC National Sprint Car Series, not the midgets, the non-wing sprint cars, right? And Logan Seavey dominated the weekend. He won both nights. Night one, $5,000, night two, $30,000. Plus, they had lap leader money, and his lap leader money for the weekend, $8,750.
Nice.
That's a hell of a weekend. Logan Seavey got her done. But night one, Seavey, Cummins, Leary. Bert, who got fourth?
Did RTJ get fourth in that one?
Yeah.
He did. He did. Good guess. Night number two, Logan Seavey, Cummins, Stockton, Canadian Bacon, Brady Bacon, and then RTJ fifth. So I did not know this, but apparently RTJ has already won a non-wing sprint car race at Central Arizona Speedway in the past. I don't know how recent that was, but the night number one, he started pretty deep, like fourth, fifth row, got up to fourth, but two top five finishes for the guy that literally, it don't matter if it's a late model, wing sprint car, non-wing sprint car, a midget, a stock car, a modified. He ain't never won in a super stock. He never won in a super stock, right? Jeff Krause better than RTJ. He ain't never won in a super stock. Just saying. I'm just saying, right? Jordan Hinkemeyer's upset about him, and guess what? Jordan Hinkemeyer has super stock wins. RTJ does not. Okay, just saying.
Fair enough.
Somebody's probably going to get him a super stock. He'll probably win in that too. Because
I'd argue that an IMCA stock car is equivalent to a super stock anyway.
It's probably. I'm a super stock guy. I might say an IMCA stock car might be a little cooler right now. It's probably better class. But boy, RTJ had a good weekend, just doing what he does. Kyle Cummins, crowned champion, right? So good racing overall. But guys, I had been to Central Arizona Speedway here a few times, right, in the past, and it was just kind of a fairgrounds track, no wall around it. Lighting was just ho hum. And when I went down there this past winter, and I went to the high limit race down there with my dad, I looked around. I'm like, holy shit, right? I mean, they put a wall around. They got a whole concourse there. They got new grandstands in the place, new lighting, scoreboard going in. I'm like, what in the world is going on? I'm like, there is no way that they did all of that There's no way they did all that for just a high limits race. There's no way, right? Well, sure as heck not. They had this race. And have you guys seen the entries flowing in for the Wild West Shootout?
Everybody's going.
Yes. So the last few years when it's at Votto, nothing against Votto, good racing, bad location. They didn't get all the hitters, right? Bert, they're all going this year. It's going to be unbelievable down there. I'm jacked up. I already got my tickets. Put in the comments below, right? If you're going, well, first of all, like, share, jump on YouTube, right? Like, share, do all that. But put in the comments below if you're going to the Wild West Shootout. Looking forward to seeing. Let's connect. I'm going to be down there for about a week and a half. That's going to be an awesome deal. But hats off to the crew down there. Hats off to RTJ for doing what he does. Congrats to Logan Seavey. USMTS guys, they canceled their final 2 weekends of the year. So that's a rough one, rough way to end the season. Yeah. And so last week, of course, the weather was bad. They just, I mean, and hats off to all these series, right? That are like, the weather looks like it's going to be shite, right? It's not going to be good. It's going to be bad, right? Let's just cancel early and save everybody the hassle from driving down and sitting there in a rainstorm, because nobody wants to do that. So good that they did that. But Heart of Texas Speedways where it was supposed to be this weekend. And do you guys remember we picked the Mod Wars 100? We were going to pick that race, and then it got canceled and postponed. Well, it got canceled and postponed because track promoter Jerry, I believe it's pronounced Friedrich or Frederick, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He got really sick, right? And there was all kinds of buzz on the internet. It's like, well, why is he canceling? What's really going on? Is there more to the story? No, he was sick. Well, he passed away here just last week. I believe it was last week, maybe a week and a half ago. So he was legitimately sick, and unfortunately, he tragically passed, and that's why they canceled the second one down there. But Rocket Rodney Sanders wins his 6th USMTS national championship, and Joe Chisholm Rookie of the Year. Yeah, overall, been an interesting season. They gained Strickler. He kind of missed at the end of the year. They lost, right? They lost Jake Tim because he went late model racing. They lost Ebert. Guys, I took some heat because Puka kind of cut out a clip last week and he put it as a reel. And I was talking about they just don't draw fans. They don't get fans at USMTS races. And I'm not saying all their races don't get fans, right? And there was some big mod lovers. This guy don't know what he's talking about. What the hell is he talking about? They don't get fans. This guy's an idiot, right? I'm like, I am a big dummy, okay? But let's just say this. Nobody gets fans like the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. It's not close. In dirt, right? And the National Late Model Tours get far more fans than USMTS Modifieds. It's not close. Are there some USMTS races that get a good fan count? Absolutely. Are there some USMTS races where you look around the grandstands and like, is this COVID year? Is it fanless? That happened too. You don't get that at World of Outlaw Sprint Car races. Just saying, right? Going to be very, very interesting to see what 2026 looks like for USMTS. But congrats, Rodney Sanders. Changa?
You guys probably remember years ago when they used to do the Masters at Cedar Lake before it was mods, when it was late models, right?
Yeah.
You would always get a great crowd for the Masters when it was late models. Now that it's mods, there ain't half the crowd. It's just not. I mean, and that's a great show. It's got the local late models and like 3 days of USMTS mods. I mean, great racing, great product, but there ain't half the people there,
No, there's not. And in fairness, the Masters, even when it was the national touring late models, never got the crowd the USA Nationals.
Oh, no.
Right.
It was never that. But it was definitely better than, and again, I enjoy watching a good USMTS mod race. Is fun to watch. I mean, there's good racing, but you're right. I mean, the Masters, when it was a national touring late models, that's just a bigger draw. So, but they do put on a hell of a show, especially when they get a big group of them there. They can put on some good racing. So some of the late end of the year racing, right? I mean, the Hot Dish Nationals crowd wasn't all that great in Hibbing. The this last one here, the Iron Range Rumble, there couldn't have been 200 people in the grandstands, right? Some of these shows though, they get some car counts. I mean, the topless guys at Ogilvy, 302 cars they had a couple weeks back at the topless. This past weekend, Carl Moyer Memorial at Marshalltown. Bert, did you see the car count at Marshalltown?
I did not.
284 cars. So, that begs the question, right? It's like, I mean, at some point there has to be an off season here, right? I mean, you can't just race year round. Everybody run out of money. You just can't do that. But I mean, is that too much? Should they? I mean, when you look at a car count like that, I mean, that obviously says, hey, these racers want to race. If the weather's good, they want to race, right? I mean, that they had a really good field of cars there, good racing going on. Is it too much? I mean, should they just draw an imaginary line in the sand and say, you just got to stop racing at this point? Like we can't have any more racing, or should it just be like it is right now and be like, hey, if you think you can get it done, have a race, whatever.
If you think you can get it done, have a race. I mean, it's we do still live in a capitalist society. We do have freedom to do the host races. Track promoters have the freedom to host races if they want. So it's their prerogative. Once it
Harry,
gets
you hear that?
what- and
Opening a deer hunting and Hibbing,
oh,
racing and Hibbing.
So I mean, as long as you can make it a go financially, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, almost every week we talk on the show about, the expense of racing. It's so expensive to go racing, and yet you have 300 drivers showing up for a show in October. So I don't know.
Did you happen to see the results? Marshalltown puts on some great racing.
Oh
That
yeah,
that place, that's
that's
a
one
fun
of
track.
the premier tracks in the
And
Midwest.
and
For
quite
sure.
honestly, this time around, I don't think it was like the feature nights weren't anything spectacular. No, but there was no movers and shakers really in any class, really.
No,
I mean, they all
no.
kind of finished where they started this year, but I mean, typically that's a really good racetrack.
Yeah, Dallin Murdy won the late models and the stock cars. Jake McBurney won the mods, and that Matt Avila, and we've heard his name a bunch. He won the sport mods. So overall, a good show. But you know what? I got to be honest. I didn't really catch how the crowd was. I'm not sure, but they had a hell of a car count. So, hats off to them if they think they can get it done. Why not keep on going? But I would have to say with the weather that it is now, I think that's it. I think it's done.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more racing up north anytime soon. Late model stuff going on. So 31st annual Fall Classic down at Why Not, Meridian, Mississippi. Ashton Winger, I'm gonna call it a rebound win because he kind of had the internet buzzing, right? Why was that, Changa? Why was the internet buzzing for old Air Force?
Well, Air Force, he had won that race at Fairbury there a few weeks back there, and he failed a tire sample. The second time in this year that he failed a tire sample in a race that he won. And I believe this race, Friday they had the prelim features, but Saturday he won the main event. I believe it was 20 grand to win, so he kind of redeemed himself some anyhow.
Yeah, it's like I didn't do it. I got no sticky fingers, and you can't get your hands
Well,
apart.
so
Once, yeah, set twice. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
in
yeah,
the two races that he got DQ'd for bad tire samples, one was a Mars race, right? That was the one at Fairbury, and the other one was Comp Cam's race.
yeah,
So two
yep,
different sanctioning bodies, probably the same lab doing the testing because that's
right,
primarily everybody uses that. But
right.
yeah, he maintains his innocence and his chain of custody on the tires from when he buys them till when they go on the race car. But we'll never know. But you can make your own speculation on that.
Two tire specialists there, guys, in the top three. You got Winger, then Ethan Dotson went 13th to second, then Zach Mitchell, right? He went, what did he go, 15th to third? He lost the hunt the front deal over the tire deal. I don't know if they didn't do it. I mean, they claim they're innocent, but I don't know. Dennis Erb Jr. fourth, and Joseph Joyner rounding out the top five. So, Bert, you watched a little bit of late model racing this weekend too.
I watched that feature, the one at Why Not, and I mean, the thing that got me about that race was Turbo was running in the top three, and he threw I think there was 2 laps to go. No, it was on the last lap, I think. And because he actually didn't finish the race, he finished a lap down. Um, Threw a slider on Dotson, and I mean, we talked about this. The driver being slid doesn't have to let up on the gas, and Dotson didn't let up on the gas, and Turbo spun out coming out of 4, and that was the end of that.
Did you hear the interview they had with
Oh, the
Dotson?
interview. The
I did
interview was
not.
classic. Right. I mean,
Dotson said,
the interview was classic.
yeah, Dotson said, well, Turbo made me make a decision on if I was gonna wreck my own car or his car, and I chose his car. and he did. He's like, I could have just lifted and fenced it or whatever. He goes, but nope, I'm gonna take him for a ride, and it worked out. He got second. Turbo's good TV. He's good entertainment. I mean, he's always in the mix of something, which is super good for dirt track racing. Shout out here, Brad Parsons Soil and Egg Solutions. So if you're in western Minnesota, north and south Dakota, I mean, you're probably harvesting right now. Hopefully that goes good for everybody. I know it's that time of year. Bert repping the egg zyme right there. I love it. I love it. So, you know, Brad specializes in helping people make more money in the farming industry by getting the right stuff in their spray packages. You know, get them yields up. It sounds to me like crop prices are just absolute terrible right now. So the only hope that you have is to get some relief by having good yield, and getting the right stuff in those spray packages will do just that. So why not give Brad a call? He's part of the racing family. You know, and if you're listening to this show, so are you, right? So why not call Brad at 320-219-3542 to learn about the products that he has, to see if that can make what you have that you think might be good already, make it better for 2026. That's Brad Parsons, Soil and Egg Solutions. So not a lot of news to be had on this, but we're only what, 2 weeks away, guys. WISSOTA annual banquet, WISSOTA annual meetings going on. Kind of quiet right now. Haven't heard a ton of stuff. I know that they're always talk point structure. I know that they're trying to get Burt transmissions back in the street stocks, open transmissions, I should say. Haven't heard a ton. But we will have ears to the ground over the next week or two here, and we'll keep everybody updated on what happens at the annual meetings here in a week or two. There's a few more races that happened this past weekend too. So Atomic, I watched both features, relatively uneventful. Changa, did you watch anything at Atomic?
Yeah, a little bit, but I didn't watch either of the features. I was kind of in and out during the middle of the program there.
I got a question for both of you guys. So both nights, Mike Marlar, Devin Moran, 1-2. Okay, both nights there. Is there a driver more up and down than Mike Marlar in dirt late model racing? I mean, he'll go on a stretch where the guy can't finish out of the top 5. I mean, and he's winning, he's hunting for the win. And then next thing you know, he's got a month and a half where he's 15th to 25th. It's like, what is going on? Like, I mean, it's just like up, down, and it's high highs, low lows. Is there anybody more up and down, like year after year after year, than Mike Marlar?
I don't know if there's anybody more up and down, but what I can say is I wish he'd get just a super high end ride, because needless to say, this guy's won a World of Outlaws championship before, so we know he can play the game with some sort of consistency. And he has the talent to race with all the best of the best. And something's missing from the program if that's the case, whether it's lack of equipment and you're running old worn out stuff or whatever the case is. I mean, the guy's got the talent to run up front consistently. I'd like to see him have that opportunity in a big time ride, and I know he's back with what's it, Delk Motorsports now, and
Yeah.
they rattled off a couple of quick wins, um, running a Longhorn, or they call it the Blue Horn.
Right.
But
Right.
but yeah, I mean, to hold Devin Moran behind you a couple of times, I don't care where you are, that's a pretty tough task to do. And, hopefully going forward that he can develop some more consistency and put another guy in the hunt every night.
Well, the more guys that we can have consistently in the hunt, the better dirt late model racing is.
Mhm.
Bert, what's your thoughts on this deal with Marlar? Up, down, up, down.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. He is up, down, up, down. You know, and I don't know if it's the equipment or what it is, but um, when he's winning, he wins a lot.
Right.
But then,
Right.
like you said, I mean, he can go a month and a half where you're thinking to yourself, was Marlar even at the races this past weekend?
Yeah, he's uber talented. I mean, yeah, you're right. When he's on for sure.
In this day and age, a lot of it has to do with the crew that's behind you. I mean, having a top-notch crew chief and the engineer, or whomever it is behind you that travels with you up and down the highway day in and day out, that's a big deal. And a lot of these top-notch teams have that, or they have a dad that's been doing it for 100 years that built race cars, or.
Well, and Marlar alluded to that in a interview earlier this year that he doesn't have
He is the crew
en-
chief.
the engineering that some other teams have. So yeah, there's probably something to that.
And what's interesting is Atomic was pretty dirty. It was kind of a marbly surface this past week, right? They're going next week. They're going down to the dirt track at Charlotte, and that place is traditionally dirty, right? He was quick there last year. Could he make some noise? Maybe steal a win or two down there. It's going to be fun to see. We'll talk more about
I,
the World Finals next week. We might have a bold prediction or two
well,
coming up too.
well, I sure hope he tears it up down there.
Oh, he's on your team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he gets. I hope he doesn't make the
I think he
show.
said
Then
he's not going.
yeah. So, a place that I'm familiar with, Bedford, Pennsylvania. I broke down there a couple years ago in the truck, and I was there over Christmas. That kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie, but they had the Keystone Cup. It's their big event of the year. I did get a chance to watch that race. Did you see who won that, Bert?
No.
Trevor Feathers. Trevor Feathers. And I heard this name a couple weeks back of it because I'd been keeping an eye a little bit on Mason Ziegler because Ziegler's been good. Satterley's been good. 3 in a row. Trevor Feathers won from 10th, drove by Mason Ziegler. He was kind of deep. He took advantage. First and second kind of bobbled. He drove by both of them. So he wins from 10th. His third straight win. Greg Satterley, 21st to 2nd out there in Bedford, PA. So keep an eye on they pretty darn good locally. I mean, you got Rick Eckert, you got Satterley, right? You got Ziegler, but another guy to keep an eye on here moving forward in that area. Trevor Feathers has been making some noise this year. He's been really good. Did you happen to see the news at the Gateway Dirt Nationals, what they're doing this year? Changa? Fill us in.
I mean, I did hear that they've been doing tire testing, and you're going to be allowed to run either the American Racer or the Hoosier. And I saw Nick Hoffman was doing a bunch of testing with a few other guys.
That is super interesting, right? Because I mean, there's already a few series that are kind of doing that. Could you see some of these non-sanctioned tracks? Because typically, most of the time, if you're sanctioned, you kind of marry yourself to one of the tire manufacturers in some sort of incentive deal, right? And there's a few of them that said, no more. We're not marrying ourselves to any specific tire because you're just going to raise the price and we're going to have free enterprise. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's good, bad, indifferent. It's going to be fun to kind of fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see. Something to keep an eye on Gateway this year. Who performs better, the Hoosiers, the American Racers? That'll be something to keep an eye on for sure. Changa, one thing that we kept an eye on in Wissota country here over the past, 3 weeks maybe, something JC Norgard does every single year. Do you keep an eye much on online? Did you see all the stuff buzzing across the internet with the Dirty Dozen calendar? Bert, you
Yeah.
must have seen a little bit of that stuff online as well, didn't you?
Just a very little bit.
So they basically did. I mean, there was a voting process. Vote for your favorite driver. You could vote every day.
And it's
And I
turned
believe,
into a big deal.
yep, and it did it. I mean, massive amount of videos, and they were doing some really cool shit. Chonga, just talk about maybe a couple of the fun things, a couple of maybe things that stuck out to you, and then I'll break down the top 12 drivers that made it into this year's calendar.
Well, I think it's Brandon Kopp won again this year, his third time in a row. I think he went with what was it, the Smokey and the Bandit theme this year. Was that what it was? And
Yep.
and they were posting videos left and right. They had Brandon singing, they had him dancing, dressed up in his cowboy hat, and you know, they're doing something different every day. His sister does a fantastic job with the social media, and and everybody else is kind of jumping on board doing the same stuff, and they're including each other in the videos, and it's turned into a fun deal, and it's grown huge now. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of votes going into this deal. It's pretty fun, pretty fun.
One of the funniest ones I saw, Josh Dimple jumped on there, and it was kind of a sore subject, of course, for Sabraski. And so I don't remember exactly what he said. He goes, something's higher. I think my votes or whatever is higher than Shane Sabraski's deck height, he said. So they're just chirping each other back and forth. But January is going to be Rachel Boston. February is going to be Jody Belfi, Levi Rant in March, Brandon Kopp in April, Layla Chaplin in May, Thunder Bay's Selena Owen, Hornet driver up there. That's going to be June. Josh Zimpel, July. McKenna Romold, August. Tyler Vernon, your Midwest Mod National Champ in September. Andrew Inman, guy we used to park next to, Silver 1000 champ in October. Jada Lohr from Chisholm in November, and then Dennis the Menace and Dennis Zeck in December. So congrats to all of them for getting in the calendar. That's a hat tip right there, JC Norgard. He's done a hell of a job with this over the years. It's been super fun to follow, and it's just one of those added things that's been good for racing. Very cool deal. Silly season is here. We've talked a little bit about that. Changa, you mentioned that you had a little something on the sprint cars. What's going on there?
We did see the one today. Tanner Holmes is going to be piloting that. No, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. It's like Butch or Buck Motorsports, the number 13 car that Kersley's been driving. He's going to be wheeling that next year in the high limit series.
Yeah, that's a good addition. So he's a hell of a driver. He made some noise down in the Southwest, specifically early in the year. He was very, very quick down there. Super excited to see him get a good opportunity there. Here's one for you guys. Speed Weeks. We talked about it's coming up right around the corner, a couple months away. And we're like, no more East Bay. East Bay's done, right? So what are they going to do? What are they going to reshuffle? Is anything going to change? Well, it did, right? It did. They added a track. World of Outlaws added a track. They added what is it, 2 or 3 events down there. Hendry County Speedway, Clewiston, Florida, the southernmost dirt track in the continental United States of America. That's how far south. It's kind of down between Fort Myers and I guess Miami, kind of way down south down there, right? But here's the problem. They're running that event right on top of Alltech Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model event. What the hell are they doing? Is this good or bad for racing, Bert?
From a fan's perspective, it's horrible for racing. I mean, throughout the summer, the series, they race against each other throughout the summer. And, during that time in February, that time of the year, is an opportunity for the series not to race over the top of each other, which is good for fans because the fans want to see the best of the best compete against the best of the best. And when you're splitting up the fields, Lucas World of Outlaws, you're not seeing all of the best competing against each other.
It's unfortunate. I did see like Todd Cooney mention online. He's like, this is awesome. He goes, this is way better because it doesn't cut into our travel money for the World of Outlaw teams. And I get that side of it, right? I mean, but you can't convince me that this is good. Even Michael Rigsby, right? Basically, he runs
Yeah.
the dirt racing portion of Flow. He had a big long deal, and he don't usually get very much involved with the negative side of things publicly. He does not typically do that. And he fired some shots across the bow. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? And I mean, sounds to me like this is the first time in what I think there was a time 6, 7, 8 years ago, 7 years, yeah,
That's what I
where
heard.
where they kind of did something like this, and then they had a gentleman's agreement. We're going to work together, which was better for racing. But I mean, it sucks because. Go ahead.
The thing is too. I mean, I can understand some of the the travel money thing that they're talking about, but the thing is, you're making the drivers from both series drive all the way to Florida to race. Give them more opportunities to race, to to have the opportunity to win more money.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's plenty of weekends where they could have just ran it the next. There's a lot of different things they could do, and an alternative to the tow money, guys, is this: have the tow money there, but once everybody commits, then award the tow money to your series drivers. Because I get it, the Lucas guys are playing the game, going to Volusia.
They
We're
both
not
play
really.
both sides.
Yeah, both of them do it, right? We're not really sure what series we're going to run. Yeah,
That's just to get the tow money.
It is. They know exactly what they're going to do. Make them commit, and then, hey, if you're going to run all of Speed Weeks, spread the toll money out, whatever. Just figure it out. But running on top of each other has been I don't care if it's with soda racing, sprint car racing, late model racing. I don't care what it is. Running on top of each other like this is bad for the fans, period.
So anyhow, when we go down there initially to Speed Week, World of Outlaws runs first. They got their first week or 4 days or whatever they do. They're going to run there first. Everybody's going to be at that, right? So then Lucas runs second. They have a Thursday night show at Alltech, I believe. And then Friday, Saturday, they're going to split. The Lucas guys will stay at Alltech. The Woo guys are going to go to Hendry County, right? Well, here's a question I got for you. After running 4 or 5 World of Outlaws shows, if a Lucas guy, goes to that first Lucas race and just flat out sucks, does he find his way to Hendry and say, okay, I'm playing both sides of the fence? I ran good in the first week of World of Outlaws stuff, but I had a bad, rough night in Lucas. Maybe I should just jump ship.
No, that ain't going to happen because,
first of all, needless to say, that's not going to happen with your top guys, right? But your 8th, 9th, 10th place points guys, if they already say they knocked off 2 top 5s in the World Outlaws to start with,
they have throwaway shows down in Florida. They don't count all your shows at Speed Weeks. You get to chuck. I don't exactly know how many, it changes every year, but you get to chuck a couple of them shows towards your point deal. They pretty much, let's face it, 99.9% of them drivers already are committed and know exactly what they're going to do before they get there, and it's a long haul. I think it's like 300 some miles in between these tracks.
That's
right?
4 hours is what I heard on some podcasts.
It's further than that. I think it's like 5.5. But regardless,
well, here's another thing.
I don't think they're going to go to Alltech. I think the drivers that are going down there are not even going to go to one night at Alltech. I think they're just going to make the trip down there and go race.
At some point in time, and I ain't saying this year or next year, but some point in time, you're going to see RTJ jump ship to World of Outlaws. It's going to happen because that's the guy that wants to say, hey, I can win them both. And he will be the guy that's going to jump ship if and when it does happen, and just to give it a try,
Did you see it being the other way? Can you see Bobby Pierce going to Lucas?
No.
No,
because the World of Outlaws runs them way more of the Midwest, the Iowa, Illinois tracks that that he loves.
All the Illinois tracks have Lucas and World of Outlaws.
Yeah, but
they
World of
both
Outlaws
run there.
run more there, and Lucas runs way more of the big half-mile frickin' sandy shitbox racetracks.
Yeah, I mean,
Bobby Pierce won't jump ship because I don't think he wants to deal with the playoff system.
Well,
that's probably true. Well, if there's enough money there, if they entice him money wise, I think every one of them will jump ship. But you're right though. I would like to see, and this is no disrespect to Hoffman, Gustin, Shirley.
He's the guy that's like, I wanna win them both.
We all want to see. Well, I want to see 32 and 20 RT racing for a championship. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see, and I think it'd be good for dirt late model racing.
They're gonna have, if they did, they'd have 4 or 5 mix-ups in the course of a year where they wrecked each other, guaranteed.
Oh God, for sure, because they're both on the chip for sure. Yes. So back to the local side of things, Red River Valley Speedway, West Fargo, North Dakota. That track had been run here for the last few years by the Bitker family over there in the Fairboard. Basically, they had a falling out, and there was a big question mark about who's going to run the track. Former promoter of the over in Glendon, right? What is it?
Buffalo River?
Yeah, Buffalo. Wow. Yeah, Buffalo River over there in Glendon. Kevin Nathy is going to be the new promoter over at Red River Valley Speedway. And it sounds like they're going to basically stay status quo. They're not going to make any big changes. They're just going to kind of run it as is, which means it's going to stay IMCA. But good luck to Kevin over there in West Fargo. The first big non-sanctioned, when I say non-sanctioned, World of Outlaw Lucas, right? The first big 2026 big money late model show of the year has been announced. Bert, did you see that news online?
I did not.
Changa?
I've kind of been out of the loop this week. I had a big work function over this past weekend that I
mentioned that
responsible for planning. So
I did see it, and I didn't put it in my notes. So
adulting is stupid, Bert. Adulting is stupid.
It is. It is.
Volunteer Speedway, Bulls Gap, Tennessee. Gauntlet at the Gap. Okay, early in the year, I believe it's in April. It's going to be a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, Friday, Saturday deal. 7,500 to win night 1, 10,000 to win night 2, 20,000 to win night 3, 30,000 to win night 4. That's what they consider the finale. If you win any one of the first 3 nights and win the finale, $100,000 bonus on top of it. So a possible $167,500 to win in 4 nights down in Tennessee. That's taking a chance. That's some big money. When I went down there with Dano, me and Filto went down there a couple of years back. And it was the XR Super Series was down there. They sold out the grandstands. There wasn't they sold out. They're like, sorry, there are no more tickets available. There's no more seats. Like if you want to go, you have to go to the pits and figure out a way to watch from the back. It was jam packed. Now I don't know if they can do that for 4 straight nights. That'd be kind of tough, but good luck to them down there. I think it's Vic Hill running the place. So that's a hell of a payday. How about a shout out here to our friends over at East Central Sports. So East Central Sports over in Rush City, Minnesota, just a little bit north of the Twin Cities. They're your #1 source for pit bikes, kids ATVs, golf carts, Toro lawnmowers, and a whole lot more. So Mac and the gang, they got some awesome stuff. Jonathan Davenport ended up buying a golf cart. Remember they were talking about? I don't know if he got that one, but he did end up getting one for sure, probably the same one. So that's kind of cool. But let them know that you heard about East Central Sports on the One to Go show. $100 gift discount on whatever you buy. Give them a call, 320-358-1994, or check them out online at www.eastcentralsports.com.
Am I wrong? Did I see that it was also Mac's birthday like the last couple days here or something?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably an epic
I may
fail.
have saw that on Facebook that it was a happy birthday for Mac. If I'm wrong,
hey, happy birthday, Mac. If it's not, you could have 2 birthdays this year. I'm not really sure, but happy birthday, Mac. If that's the case, I guess I'm not positive on that. I guess we
I
should
believe I saw that yesterday or the day before.
have got that in the notes. So let's jump into some WISSOTA National Championship trivia here. So I don't know. It's been a couple weeks since we did it.
Tonga's leading 13-11-2.
No, 12-4-2. It's me, Changa, and then Bert. Bert is on it. Bert sniped me. He got one on me, but it's Bert's turn. It's Changa's turn to give clues. So it's me against Bert. Go ahead, Changa. What do you got?
Hold on, Bert's gone.
I'm here.
All right. All right, let me get to my notes here. So, okay, this driver is 34 years old. This driver has been known to build chassis. This driver once called Medford home. This driver has won races at Deer Creek Speedway, Chateau, Dodge County, Mississippi Thunder, and Lucas Oil Speedway, to name a few.
Brandon Davis.
That is correct.
When I thought Medford, you caught me there for a second because I was thinking Wisconsin, and I'm like,
that's why I didn't say Minnesota. That's why.
and
I
I'm
didn't
thinking
say
Lonnie
Minnesota.
Lou. I'm like, Lonnie Lou didn't win a national championship. I don't know if he built chassis. And yeah, so the 50 to the 3rd there, Brandon Davis, Midwest Mod National Champ. Well, what other clues did you have about
he
Brandon?
is Deer Creek Speedway's all-time winningest driver. Had back-to-back wins at the 25 go for 50, the 2025 go for 50. This driver now calls Hayfield home, builds tri-built race cards. And
Now that's that's loosely built, right? Because he builds himself race cars, but if you try to buy one from Brandon Davis, he probably won't sell you one because he's not really super interested in. I think he's an electrician by trade, but he's not overly interested in actually being a chassis builder. Do you know what? Can you name the northern Minnesota driver that had a car from Brandon Davis?
No.
Rick Canada.
Really?
Yeah, Rick Canada got a car from him, and then he retired from racing. Brandon bought that car back from him and went on. Yep. Rick Canada had one. All right, boys. So that's another one there, Bert, for the 71A. Bert, you're gonna have to do some studying. You have to just start researching here.
I learned quickly with Bert, you can't give years of their championships because he's got the list in front of you.
That might be the only way. You might have to do that, right? So one thing we're gonna do here, and Bert probably won't necessarily be involved with all this, but we're gonna do so. Dirt Race Central kind of did their own power rankings all year long. I don't know if you saw that online. They had power rankings, and I had people reaching out to me. They're like, "How the hell do you have me here?" I'm like, "It wasn't me. I didn't do that." Right? Kind of cool that they brought that back, right? I did that a few years back. Had a hell of a good time. But Changa and I decided that we're going to do a end of the year power rankings for each of the classes. Now,
Bert.
Yeah, Bert, you can more than happy. You can put your list together. Late models is going to be, it'll be kind of Eastern Wisconsin inclusive. We can even tie in, if you want, we could tie in Dirt Kings if you feel like there's somebody top 10 there, but primarily WISSOTA, Cedar Lake. We can type in add the Dirt Kings in there, the Eastern Wisconsin stuff. But all the other classes are going to be pretty much WISSOTA centric is what it's going to be. we'll add in, like, if somebody ran mostly WISSOTA, but they also run Cedar Lake and they happen to win something at Cedar, we'll tie that in. But no disrespect to the IMCA guys or USRA or UMP or whatever. This is just primarily a WISSOTA centric show. So it's going to be mostly WISSOTA. So Bert, you can decide off the show or whatever if you want to be part of the other classes there, or if there's a class where you're like, hey, I enjoy that class, I'll do that one too. But we're not going to do it all in one show. But kind of from now till the end of the year, we'll start filtering in one class probably per week or
What
something like
class
that.
are we going to start with Hornets? Start at the bottom and work our way up.
What are you talking about?
Or start at the top, then I guess.
All right. I mean, no. What is with the major disrespect to the Hornet class by you saying they're on
I'm
the
not saying
bottom?
the bottom of the food chain as far as quality of racing. I'm saying as of cost of racing.
We can do whatever. We can do whatever. So Bert can let us know. I mean, yeah, we could start. We could start from the most grassroots class.
I mean, I don't care which way we go. We could just draw one out of a hat, as far as I'm concerned.
We can do that too. We'll decide that off the show, right? We'll decide that off the show. But we are going to do our. We're each going to kind of bring our own top 10. We'll kind of banter back and forth. Probably going to be a separate show from the weekly show. It'll be in addition. And then once we get into the holiday season, right? We take some time off over the holiday season, so we'll probably preset some of this stuff or whatever, and maybe throw that show in on that particular week or whatever. So that'll just something to look forward here. So you racers out there, if you feel like you deserve to be in the top 10, right, you can grease our pockets a little bit. All right. I can be bought. I'm just saying, right? If you feel like, hey, I belong in the top 10, I can be bought. I'm just saying, okay? I can be bought. So
me too, and I'm cheap.
Yeah, we'll send over our Venmo, whatever you got to do. But we're excited for that. We want to. So
I'll give you my
show.
MySpace account.
There you go. There you go. Nice. So jumping into the pick'ems here, we had history made this past week in our pick'ems contest. First of all, the old 71A here, I tied with Man Bun Dan for the week 43 win. But we had Man Bun Brad. We had
no. It's Dan Bun Brad.
There you go. We had our first ever negative points.
Oof, crusher.
First ever. Coach Kraus had a kid.
Hit a tire. He hit a tire.
He did. He hit a tire. So what we did, right, is if somebody gets DQ'd from a race, tire infraction or whatever, we adjust that later because that win is no longer a win, right? Well, when you pick cheaters like Kraus does, it's going to cost you. So one of those Ashton Winger wins, he had him. One of the Zach Mitchell wins, he had him. That's negative 4 points right there. Well, last week he only got 3 points. So you take the 3 points and you subtract his 4 points for the cheaters that he picked. -1 for Coach Kraus. Congratulations, history made. Good job, buddy. So the standings right now, 71A here leading, 724. Chonga's at 698. A little bit of breathing room, not enough. 2 drafts that can shake things up really fast. Bert's in third at 681. Then we got Governor Walls at 672 and Dano rounding out the top 5. 2-time and defending Pick'ems champion, Rainman, 2 points out of the top 5. He's got some work to be done here, boys, in the last 2 months to crack up into the hunt for the win to make it 3 in a row. Uper at 621, Coach at 609, Worker B 604, Tardy 99 at 602, Man Bun Dan, Beefcake, and Bromance rounding out the field. So, Chonga, you got the list in front of you there. There's still racing going on. Not a ton. But what races are we picking this weekend, Chonga?
All right, so this week we're picking the World Short Track Championship at the Dirt Track at Charlotte in Concord, North Carolina. Saturday's A mains, UMP mods, and 604 late models. We're picking the National 100 at East Alabama Speedway, and I guess it's Phoenix City, Alabama.
Yep.
Super late models Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we're picking the Delaware Diamond 75 Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds at Georgetown Speedway in Georgetown, Delaware.
The beasts from the Northeast. And I almost threw in the late models because the super late models, I guess, are running for 7,500 or $8,000 to win the day before. Probably should have, because you probably get Satterley, Feathers, Ziegler, Eckert. They'll probably be there. But we just opted against it, I
Too
guess.
many
So
people would bitch.
yeah. So Uper's been crazy busy. He kind of had some family stuff. He had to make a trip up to the range. He's our statistician.
You had to do some shoveling.
He did. It did snow there. So he said, "Hey, sorry, I didn't get the stats all done. We are close on that because there's a bunch that came off the board from earlier in the year. We'll have a full breakdown of that stuff on next week's show, but we will get back this week. We are going to get back to making predictions. Last week it was me and Puka. So 3 laps around the track, and Bert will go first, then Changa. I have Upers here. I have my own, and we'll end our show with our 3 bold predictions for the week. So Bert, what do you got?
Changa scared me earlier in the show when he started talking about this. I was ready to make this bold prediction on last week's show, but then I wasn't on it. But my bold prediction is that RTJ has had enough of the playoff system with Lucas, and he will go World of Outlaw Racing next year.
Nice. God, I hope you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
That would be fantastic. All right, so that one won't come off the board then until the early part of next year, unless he announces something at the
Bert
PRI
has already
show or
given
something.
up on this year. He's trying to get a jump start on next year. Probably not a terrible strategy, Bert.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Changa, what is your first prediction?
I'm going to go to the dirt track at Charlotte for what do they call that thing? The World Finals. And I'm going to say Nick Hoffman has better
this week or the next
following
week's deal?
week. The following
Okay,
week.
yeah, that's the World
I'm
Finals.
going to say Nick Hoffman has better average finishes than Bobby Pierce for the week.
Home sweet home. Real from Mooresville, right? So that could happen. All right. Nick Hoffman, better average finish at the World Finals than BP 32.
Over the course of the 3 nights, right? It's 3 nights.
Yep. Okay. Yep, 3 nights. Okay. So Uper's first one, it's a championship weekend, boys, in NASCAR. Phoenix this weekend. Championship weekend, Final 4. Playoffs are here. Playoffs coming to an end. Kyle Larson, is it Travis Quapple? Is that what it is?
Travis Quapple, yeah. Well,
that's
a person. That's a person.
Or what's it's his kid, right?
It's his kid, I think.
Yeah. So Quapple and then Ty Majeski in the hunt there for the championship in the trucks. He says those will be your 3 champions, and I have it right here. Hold on here. Oh, Bert got sniped. All right, let me.
He would have done Ty Majeski for sure.
I was just gonna, yeah.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So Dano actually sent me over some stuff, right? So we got, what is it? Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Kyle Larson. That is your 4 in the cup. Okay. In the Xfinity, it's Zealish. It's C Quapple. So I don't know. Is that he a Wisconsin guy, Bert?
He's got ties to Wisconsin. I don't know if he's officially from Wisconsin.
Justin Allgaier, he's a dirt guy. I'm gonna cheer for him. And then we got Jay Love. So Jordan Love gonna take a week off from football and gonna be in Xfinity. Okay, Jordan Love, Jay Love. And then we got the trucks. We got Heim, Honeycutt, Ty Majeski. I know that name. He's a Wisconsin guy, and Ankrum. Them are your championship chase drivers. So I don't watch a ton of NASCAR, but I probably will tune in, at least maybe try to catch the end of the races, or I'll at least kind of follow what's going on to see who's going to win the championships.
The truck race is Friday night. Xfinity is Saturday night, and then Sprint or whatever it's called now is it starts
2
at
o'clock.
2 o'clock Central Time. Yes.
Yeah, 2 o'clock Central on Sunday. So that must be, that'd be noon out there in Phoenix. I haven't talked to my dad. He should probably go to that. He should probably go to one of them, right? I mean, he lives out there, so why not go to one of them? I think he should go to the trucks. I think the trucks are probably the most exciting of the bunch. They beat
I
the
was
shit out of each other.
I was looking at that today, actually, during my lunch break today to see. I didn't even know who the final four drivers were in each
I didn't either.
division.
Dano had to get
So
that for me.
by lunch break, you mean 8 to 5?
No, I get a half-hour lunch break. And Majeski has 0 wins this year in the trucks. Corey Haim has 11 wins in the truck series.
So that begs a question right there, right? If that guy has the most wins, it rightfully so, he should be the champion. But just the way things work out, he
Right.
probably won't be. He probably
Right.
won't be.
Okay, I'm just going to say something. You got to liken this to a round of golf, right? You could have 11 hole-in-ones, but if you shoot 41 on the other holes, you're probably still not going to win, right?
That's probably fair. That's probably fair. All right. So, Mom, I guess it would be my turn here. So that's Youpers, Larson, Quapple, Majeski, your champs in their respective divisions in NASCAR. Mine, I'm gonna go to the dirt track at Charlotte, but I'm gonna go this weekend to the World Short Track Championships, UMP Dirt Car Modifieds. So the combination of Tyler Nicely and actually the combination of Tyler Nicely and Mitch Thomas are going to have a better finish than Charlie Mefford and Michael Altobelli. So them are 4 that constantly run up front in UMP Dirt Car. So Tyler Nicely, Mitch Thomas. Nicely's in a 7. Not sure whose car that is. That might be Allgaier's car. I'm not sure. So Nicely, Mitch Thomas will have a better average, and not average finish because it's one race. But if you average their 2 out, they will finish better than Charlie Mefford and Michael Altobelli. I think Altobelli's the 95 car. He's pretty quick. He runs really good at Volusia, I know for sure. And of course, we all know the pit lizard pimp, Charlie Mefford, right? Can't park there. You can't park here. That's that guy. So, all right, Bert, back to you.
I might as well throw another one out for next year.
I love it. I love it.
We're only in October.
This is a strategy.
Well, I'm gonna say that Shawano Speedway will be shortened for the 2026 season.
Yeah, I mean, when you own the place, you have kind of some insider knowledge.
You think it's going to be that quick, huh?
In the article, they said it'll only take them 3 weeks to do it.
Wow. Okay. That would be something.
Are you saying that it's going to happen by 2026? Before then?
The 2026 season will be raced on a shortened track.
Yeah, week one opener at Shawano, shortened track. All right. All right.
These are bold predictions, so
that is bold. That is bold. I feel like he's got insider info.
That's a guarantee.
I don't have any. I have no insider information.
That's 100% going to happen.
He's looking at his phone, reading a text he got from Troy Springborn saying, right. "Hey, we got her done.
It's a done deal. We're already working on it."
Yeah, here's a picture. Bulldozer at the track right now. All right, Bert, way to go.
Hey, here's the new go-kart track too.
All right, Sean, get your second one here.
I go Dome in December. I'm going to say there will be the winner of the late model feature will be someone that has won there in the past. He has won the race in the past, so he'll be
the main event. Not a
main event. The main event will be someone that has won that main event before.
Okay. All right. Tap in. We're gonna call that a tap in. Is that what we're gonna call a bunt? Whatever you're gonna call. Okay, fair enough.
I think that's a bunt.
I do. I
hope I could add to it.
I think you should. I hope you're wrong Because I'd like to see a new winner. I think that's good for racing when you have new winner.
All right, well, fine. Well, I won't add
I
to
think
it.
it's what. So basically, you're telling us right now on the show.
Okay.
So you hate Wasota. James Trantina is not going to win that race. What you're telling me?
I don't think so. He's too new to the late model game. I mean, I would have picked him if he had about 10 more races under his belt.
All right, all right. No
Oh,
Eisenschenk.
no, I'm not thinking so.
You're a hater.
I think there's a chance that Sheppy could win or Bobby could win. You know, one of them guys could win.
Tyler Carpenter.
Right, he could win.
Yep.
And fast.
Fair enough. All right. That was your second one.
How many guys have ever won it in the late model division?
I don't know the answer to that. We're that's a couple months away, so we don't have that in front of us yet.
5, 6. I mean, it's 6.
I don't know. Probably something like that. Carpenter won it twice, right? Did Pierce win it twice?
Yeah.
Sheppy win it once or twice?
Turbo won.
Yeah.
I don't think RTJ won it. Did he? He won the mod, didn't he? Not the late model. I'm not sure. I don't know who else won it.
I mean, it's like, say, 5 guys versus the other 55.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think there's probably closer to 100. Isn't there late models there? Okay. All right. Uper's second one here. He's going to go Super Dirt Car Series at Georgetown, Delaware this weekend. A driver going by the name of Matthew, right? Anything to do with Matt? 2 of the 3 podium drivers will be Matt something.
Where at Delaware? At the Delaware
Yep. At Georgetown. So I'm cheering for Alex Yankowski, Max McLaughlin, right? That's what I'm cheering for. Okay.
Ferdinand Janklowitz.
Yeah. We got Anthony Perego, right?
Stuart Friesen.
Tim Fuller, right? So yeah, he's got 2 of 3.
Hey, here's a name from the past, Johnny Jaha.
Former Brewer first baseman.
Yes, sir.
Brett the Hitman Hearn. Yeah, we got 2 of 3. 2 of 3 Matt is what it's going to be. I am going to go National 100 at East Alabama this weekend. The combination of Herbs, Turbo, Tyler Erb, and Dennis Erb Jr. will have a better average finish than the O-Show Jimmy Owens and the killer Kyle Bronson. Better average finish for the Herbs than Owens and Bronson.
I think that's a bunt.
Have you seen Turbo? There's a pretty good odds that he'll DNF 2 of them. What are you talking
Turbo's
about?
Awesome at that place.
Of course, Bronson probably DNF 2 of them also. So there is that. Okay.
He's the killer.
All right. Bert, your third and final.
I'm gonna go the World Finals at Charlotte. And the final feature for the late models. The podium will be composed of Lucas Oil drivers, regulars.
The final podium at which race? At the World Finals?
At the World Finals.
All
the final. Okay, in the dirt car, big block mods.
No, in the late model division.
All right, so the late model A main final night. So if Saturday rains out and Friday's the final night, does that count?
Yes.
Or is it okay? So whatever the final night is, whatever the last show of the week is, the podium will be 3 Lucas drivers. Okay. All right.
I like it.
All right, Changa.
Well, I was listening to you read off the points in our Pick'ems deal there, and our 2-time defending champion ain't even in the top 5.
No, he's not. He's 6th.
I'm going to make a prediction that Curtis will find his way into the top 5 before the end of the year.
Huh. Okay. Could happen.
I have faith in Curtis. I don't even know how many points out he is, but I have faith in him.
He's only 2. I think he's only 2 points out. So,
Curtis, you got some work to do, buddy.
All right, let's go Governor Walls and let's go Dano. I mean, nothing against Curtis here, but can't be having Changa get a point. All right, Uper's third and final one. He's going to go National 100 East Alabama this weekend as well. This is a bold one for him, actually. One driver will finish on the podium all 3 nights. One other driver will finish on the podium 2 of the 3 nights. And all of the other podiums will be different drivers.
What race is this now?
This is East Alabama. They race Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. So one driver,
One driver all 3 nights, one driver 2 nights, and then all different ones.
and then all different ones. So that's pretty bold.
That's pretty
So
bold and detailed.
Yeah. So all 3 have to happen for that to come into fruition.
That is bold.
Oh boy. So I am gonna go. I'm gonna get ahead of the game here. I'll go World Finals as well. Okay. I'll go World Finals as well. I'm going to say this. I will say that a non-Lucas or Wu regular in the late models has the best average finish over the 3 nights, or 2, right? If it happens, okay? If one night only happens, then this doesn't count. If 2 races happen or 3 races happen, it counts. But a non-Wu or Lucas regular driver will have the best average finish.
Off the record, who is it?
Off the record, I'm gonna go Chris Madden. Off the record, I'm gonna go Chris Madden. He had a first and a second there last year. I talked to Arpin. Arpin said that he said his shit looked pretty good. He said he was quick at testing out there. He also said that Hudson O'Neal in the Rumley 6 was really good. They're testing some stuff, and he said that thing was really good.
You know what they're testing, right?
I don't.
They're testing Rumley's new shocks.
Yeah, like based off of Olin's, right? Yep. Based off of Olin's, yeah. Dano told me that too. But there's some other stuff they're working on as well. But he said the 76 car looked okay. He said Madden and Huddy looked, and Huddy and Madden and Hoffman looked really good.
So you talked to him, okay? What is it? What is his story about why the Longhorn house car is just kind of a turtle? Are we even allowed to talk about that?
He gave me a KOC word salad, right? Yeah, we're just kind of working on some stuff. I'm not really sure what the deal is. We're just trying to find. He wouldn't really say. He wouldn't really say. He did say this though. I said, "Do you miss it?" He says, "I built a car." He goes, "I got myself a late model." He goes, "Not sure if I'm going to race it or if I'm just going to test and do some testing or whatever." So Steve Arpin going to be strapping in, making some laps in a fat tire car. So be kind of cool if we can get old 00 behind the wheel in an actual race. That would be super cool. Could happen. I suppose it depends how good the testing goes, but Arpin was always fun to watch, right?
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Yeah. So yeah, he said that he's going to make some laps and probably more based on testing, but you never know. You never know. He might get out there and kind of
rough. He's been out at all this year. I know he's been in some mods testing and whatnot, but
yeah, not racing. He hasn't raced, but so that's it. What is that? Episode 282. Happy birthday again, boys! 7 years running for the One to Go
birthday,
show.
Mac, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mac. If Changa's on top of his game here, but as always, I'm Ryan. That's Changa. That's Sleepy Bert, and thanks for tuning in to the One to Go show.